Welcome to the Certified Angus Beef Market Report. I'm Nicole Ursig. Today, our Director of Packing, Clint Walenciak, and I are talking about the quality beef supply trends. Now, Clint, when we say quality beef supply, we're talking about premium choice and above, right?
For sure, yeah.
So what has historically this growth trend looked like?
Well, really, it's been pretty unique here over the last several years as we have bottomed out cattle numbers there in 2015 and been able to rebuild the herd here over the last 4 years. The growth trend has really come from three avenues. The first would be just simply increasing the number of fed cattle that we process here in the United States. The second part of that would be the percentage of those cattle that receive an A stamp, or would be Angus and Angus cross as considered by USDA. And then the third component of that is really the quality performance of those cattle and their ability to meet the 10 carcass specifications. And so within those three avenues, when we look at the overall harvest numbers, we've seen that number increase 15% since its low point there in 2015. We've seen the percentage of those cattle that are Angus and Angus cross receiving an A stamp at the packing plant increase about 6 percentage points to about 67% of the total herd. And then the percentage of those cattle that have been able to meet all of the 10 carcass specifications has also increased about 8 percentage points to where about 36% as we look at things here today in 2019.
So we are sitting on the biggest supply of high quality beef we have ever seen. Do we see this changing?
We do. Here in the shorter term, closer in, from a fed harvest standpoint, we do see that number start to level off this year, 2019. We expect it to fall just a little over 26 million head, 26.1, 26.2. And so that's a growth rate of about 1.5%, which is more typical of probably what we'd expect to see in a standard cattle cycle. As far as the percent black, a very similar trend. Actually, we'll probably land with 2019 falling relatively even with 2018 on the percentage of those cattle that are receiving an A stamp. And then as far as the CAB acceptance rate, that's probably where we still maintain a little bit of momentum as we're realizing the increased use of those quality genetics and so forth. But again, at the same time, still starting to see that level off. Instead of seeing 2 and 3 percentage point jumps year over year, that probably moderates more 1 to 2 percentage point jumps moving forward.
So how have consumers reacted to this big spike in demand, and will we see any changes with that?
It's honestly, it's been really amazing and quite a bit of fun to see that response take place. You know, when we look at the Certified Angus Beef brand sales here over the last 4 years, it was about a 45% increase over that time frame, and that's across all brand sales. When we dive down and look specifically at the Certified Angus Beef brand Prime brand extension, the demand for that product has actually increased 200%. And so it's been a lot of fun, again, to see that take place. Even when we look at commodity beef, more and more we start to see different retail accounts and so forth that have switched, traditionally been select customers, to change that beef offering to USDA choice.
That's exciting. So we've seen consumers really do like this high quality product. What does this mean moving forward for cattlemen?
I think the important component to keep in mind is that, quite frankly, the job's not over. As much advancement and increases that we've seen in quality beef production, again, here over the last 3 to 4 years, it becomes that much more important to continue that momentum as we no longer have the growth in the total herd size and total fed cattle harvest to increase those quality beef supply numbers. And so we're really going to have to rely on the use of those Angus genetics to get us more Angus and Angus cross cattle, and then the quality focus of those genetics and the ability of them to ultimately qualify for the brand's carcass specifications.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Clint. For more information like this, head over to cabcattle.com.